Welcome back. All right. So, home ice advantage or not? There's going to be some interesting questions being asked if you're a Carolina fan coming out of this game. Like, who starts the next game? It's probably Nedeljkovic, right? Rod Brind'Amour has been pretty loyal to him throughout, but right, made some really good saves in this game too. But sometimes that's not what stands out at the end of the game. So the first turnover in this game was by the Bolts, and it was clear right out of the gate that Tampa Bay was going to have to survive a really strong first period from the Carolina Hurricanes. You've got a very loud crowd. You've got just the amount of energy in that building was huge. And then Killorn had a break that doesn't go. Necas the other way, fires one wide. Things get unpleasant around 2 minutes in. This was not a game that was filled with a lot of fisticuff type stuff, and so that'll develop as this series goes along. Good early action, some back and forth chances. Foegele to Svechnikov doesn't quite go. Near chances for the Canes, and Shea then fires one wide. So the Canes had a lot of the puck control early on. Necas had a shot that was saved by Vasilevsky. Again, the loud fans hyping things up. Clearly that energy transfers to the Canes on the ice. Shots were 5-3 in favor of Carolina at 7 minutes. It felt more lopsided than that, to be honest. Post for Necas. Bolts get pinned down for a lot of that first half. Johnson then clears a Slavin chance out of the crease. Too many Bolts on the ice, so that gives the Canes the first power play of the series. There were a lot of power plays today. So Trocheck was denied. The Bolts would kill it off. They allowed 2 shots. Kucherov then had a shot that was saved. The Bolts were due for some momentum in this game, and I kept thinking, all right, at some point Tampa Bay is going to get the puck, and they're going to have that momentum. There's a lot of depth with Tampa, a lot of talent, a lot of scoring, right? So there was some more big saves by Vasilevsky as I kept waiting for Tampa to really get into this. Aho was robbed by Vasilevsky's glove. There's more pressure from the Canes. Slavin then throws a big hit on Palat. Bolts were waking up late. Pretty fun first period. Or here, Canes end up on a power play. Trocheck gets getting power play chances again. Bolts would kill it off, and the Bolts not able to sustain pressure after. So the Canes get 2 power plays in the first, no damage done. We go to the second, still scoreless. The Canes were looking for transition passes early again. The Bolts were pressing, Nedeljkovic making saves, and the crowd just eating this up the whole way through. And then the crowd on the ice, they're gathering as well. Palat can't bury one. Aho clears it out. Schenn then breaks up a chance for Jesper Fast. Trocheck had a shot that was saved, and then the rebound was saved as well. So good opportunities both ways, both goaltenders getting into this whole duel that you tend to see in the playoffs. More often than you do in the regular season anyways. Kucherov with a near miss as the Bolts would pressure. There was a 2.5 minute shift for Hakanpää. He could not get off the ice. Bolts then get their first power play. There was a shorthanded chance for Slavin. However, Tampa Bay would capitalize. Braden Point from Victor Hedman and Kucherov at 8:15. So Hedman with his 8th power play assist out of the 9 assists he's got in the playoffs. The Bolts watch party was happy. So the nice thing was that when Tampa Bay scored, they showed their home fans in their building celebrating. I do like that. That was kind of cool. Bolts were net crashing looking for another. They end up with another power play, which rains down the boos from the crowd. Pesce had blocked a point shot. Kucherov then with a cross check, so we get 46 seconds of 4-on-4. And it's the second penalty for Kucherov. This is a good thing if you're Carolina. If Kucherov's taking penalties, if he's getting frustrated, you've got a better chance of knocking out the Tampa Bay Lightning. Post for Pesce. During the 4-on-4, the Canes would press. The fans wanted another call. They wanted this to be a 5-on-3. The referee not having any of it. And yeah, Kucherov had a break that was denied after the penalty kill was done. So Kucherov out of the box, he gets an opportunity, and it's denied. Much better period for Tampa at that stage. They had to pause to fix the ice near the boards. There was a lot of ice work going on today. So this is one of those things. We're into the summer months, and ice tends to be a bit of an issue when it's warm out. And so look for the ice in some of these series to be kind of an issue. And I don't know that it necessarily matters either side of the border. Although I would think, and I'm just saying I would think, that for the Canadian buildings where you don't have, in Montreal's case, you only have 2,500 fans. In Toronto, Winnipeg, there's no fans at this stage. It'd be easier, I would think, to keep the ice in better condition and to keep the building cool without, thousands of fans in there. So maybe a little bit rougher in Carolina than it might be in Toronto, even if you have the same conditions outside, right? So, Bolts had their third power play. Teravainen clears a dangerous Bolts pass attempt. Palat then whiffs on one. Canes would finish the kill. Chernak got sandwiched on a hit. He was down. He would not return to the game. Hamilton then had a shot hit Vasilevsky's shoulder with 1:20 left. And then when the next shot came in, Vasilevsky saved that and held on to it. 12.2 seconds left. The Canes go to the power play. And then at the buzzer, things get kind of sloppy between the two teams because you kind of have to do that at the buzzer at least once. Just a little slap fights. That would be great if all of them were doing that, right? Third period, strong penalty kill by the Bolts. And I'm writing this on here with strong penalty kill by the Bolts. They should finish this off. And then I had to put almost finishes the kill because Jake Bean with a nice point shot goes in. Svechnikov and Fast with the assists at 1:41. So it's a tie game and both goals have been scored on the power play. Canes then generating chances, seeking the lead. Again, Chernak does not return, not on the bench to start the third period. Gord looked dangerous, but the Canes cleared it out. Yanni Gord had a very good third period. The one thing is he was kind of a one-man show for a lot of that there. Canes not giving much space to the Bolts. Sorelli then had a chance that was saved. It was bend but don't break for the Canes at this stage of the game. The problem is they weren't generating enough opportunities at this stage of the game. They get a power play. Bolts managed to kill it off, and it felt like special teams may decide this series. Whichever team is better on the special teams may very well be the one that emerges victorious from this series. Palat had a shot that was stopped, but then from a tough angle, it's Barclay Goodrow from Coleman at 12:39. Now, I wrote from a tough angle, and then AJ Malesko said the same thing. That's from a tough angle. So it's along the boards, and yeah, Nedeljkovic just comes off the post. And as they were saying on Sportsnet, it looks like it just changed him up. He expected the puck to be in one spot. It was in a different spot. Kind of bounces off his leg and in. It doesn't look great. So for Rod Brind'Amour, he may very well look next game and say, you know what, we're going to come back with Mrazek. I'm not saying it does happen, but apparently Leonard's starting for Vegas tonight, so weird things do happen in the playoffs. And yeah, he did come off the post, and he probably should have stopped that one. And this is where the sadness that is goaltending in the NHL playoffs is a reality. All those big saves he makes early on, all the big saves he made through the first, 51 minutes, 52 minutes of the game, that replay is what's going to be seen everywhere. So yeah, he just comes off the post and it goes in. McGinn then blasts one wide as the Canes did try to answer. Martinook had a shot that was saved. Trocheck hits the side of the net. Hedman had a shot block on Hamilton as the Canes furiously were trying to tie this up. The Bolts get a 3-on-2. Nedeljkovic blocks the pass. There was more ice fixing along the boards. So you get that ice fixing going on. The other thing it does is it slows the game down because you're taking the guys off the ice, so you can do that. Gives them a little bit more of a break. So it felt to me like that probably favored Tampa, that they were able to get everybody rested while they were fixing that. The fans were pretty loud. The Canes would press with 3 minutes left. There was a blocker save on Stamkos. Coleman with a break. He mishandles it. And you know that you're watching this thinking, I don't know. This if the Canes tie this, we're going to look back on Coleman mishandling that, right? But with 1:19 left, we get a face-off at the Canes end. Rod Brind'Amour calls this timeout. They would pull the goaltender with a minute left after they cleared the zone and got into the Tampa zone. They did press 6-on-5. They had opportunities. And then what really made it look scary was when McDonough breaks his stick. And so it's a 6-on-4.5. But Tampa manages to clear it out. Hedman then blocked a shot from Svechnikov. And the Bolts hang on. This is one of those ultimate, they hang on to win this game kind of things. They win it 2-1. Tampa Bay wins game 1. And so for Carolina, now they have to win game 2. They cannot afford to lose game 2. And they were right there. This game was close. The shots were 15-12 in favor of Carolina in the first, 11-9 Carolina in the second, 12-9 Carolina in the third. Final shots 38-30 in favor of the Carolina Hurricanes. Power plays, Tampa Bay 1 for 3, Carolina 1 for 5. Hits 37-30 in favor of Tampa Bay. Block shots 17-16 in favor of Tampa Bay. Vasilevsky saves 37 out of 38. He was fantastic. So Carolina's seen what we've already seen numerous times in the playoffs. Vasilevsky's pretty darn good. And Nedeljkovic, 28 saves on 30 shots for him. He was good. But again, that game-winning goal, that's one of those ones that he's going to look back on and think, I really wish I'd saved it. And again, when you only get one goal in a game, you're probably going to be looking at making a change anyways. But when that game-winning goal looks like that, does Carolina think about making some kind of a change next game? I'm leaning towards no, but let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happen upon this video, and the time I'm finishing this is about 15 minutes before Game 1 starts between Vegas and Colorado. And then I'll get to taking notes on that and reviewing that when that's done. All right, round 2. It does get kind of easier for me than it is in round 1. Round 1 gets a little hectic. Round 2, not as much. Thank you guys so much for all your support. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Almost at 193,000, getting close. Thank you guys for that, and I will talk to you again soon.